Alright, so we're finally back on Brand and DESPIA again. And every time I play this deck, I remember how much I actually like this deck. You get some really interesting game states, and you know, I'm not running too many hand traps, so our opponent sort of gets to do their play, we get to do our thing. You know, pretty fun interactive games as long as we're not, you know, getting FTK'd. And yes, this is a Pot of Desires in my deck. We're running a Crackhead build. Don't worry, I'll have a deck profile up later. I just want to show you some of the best replays I had in this Spright dominated meta. So anyway, we're getting Desires. We're gonna draw into Tragedy and Albion. Albion is gonna dump the Retribution. We're gonna draw a Patchwork. Oh my god! And then now we have the Allure to pitch the Tragedy. Tragedy is gonna get us Alibur, and Alibur is gonna get us Brand Infusion. Activate Brand Infusion. Get Max Seed. That's unfortunate. Our hand is all gas, but you know it's fine. Our opponent they can get a Pot of Greed. We're gonna hit the Snow anyways because we drew in that because we're good at the game, and we're gonna end on a Mirror Jade, and we have, let's see, we have a Banishment set which is really good in a Spright dominated meta. Super Poly, which is also quite decent when Jet and Blue exists, and we have a Brand opening for a Dramaturge that we can summon from deck, because I am playing Dramaturge again in this bigger deck list. And our opponent's gonna summon Nimble Beaver. Kind of just have to let it go. Summon Spright Jet, get the starter. Use starter, get out Spright Red. They're gonna go into Gigantic, and we hit them with the Super Poly because they never play around the Super Poly, you know. And you think we're going to starting Venom? No. We're bringing out the Triff Gaming, using our own Alibur and their Jet plus their Gigantic. And now we also ditched you know, the fact that we ditched Edgem Chain hurt us because that just made their tactics live earlier than I would have wanted to. So now I chain Mirror Jade to the tactics, and they're gonna chain Smashers, banishing their red to banish my set Brandon opening. And now I'm forced to Mirror Jade banish itself, and they get the Triff, but honestly I don't care because Triff is, they already used their normal summon, and Triff is not a level 2 body, so they can't do anything with this. And as shown that they really couldn't, now we get the Triff back. And the great thing about Triff is, even if they had extra extenders somehow, like I don't know how they would have extra extenders. They already expended their starter and their normal summon, so like I actually don't think they could physically get any more level 2 bodies on the field. But if they could, Triff has a Solemn Warning effect. This card does have card text, so if they were somehow able to go into an elf, you could just negate that. Anyway, this game is over. Our opponent's passing on nothing. They managed to triple tactics talents and smashers away our board, but because we're playing DESPIA, our grind game is much stronger than theirs is. Now we can go Chimera, get rid of their last set. They're cross out for Ash Blossom. I don't know why. Showing that they don't have the Ash Blossom for our Brand Infusion anyways. And now we can attack for game after a couple more fusion summons. So this is a replay that's going to just show the utility of all the extra engine pieces we added into a 60 card build, because of the bigger deck size we're allotted. So our hand, we're going to allure away one of the Albions, and then the Albion will dump a Retribution to get our ad-lib, and then we're going to draw 2 more cards and draw into Brand in red, which is nice. Now Brand Infusion for Lubellion. We're going to chain the Brand in red to get back the Albaz, then we're going to make a Mirror Jade with the Albaz and Lubellion. And then when Lubellion resolves, we're going to use the same 2 materials that we used to make Mirror Jade to make a Dragos Lapelia. And now, because we run DESPIA Feeler of the Branded, our Alibur can search as a poly card, even when we don't have access to any of the Frightfur or Edgen package. And with this poly, it lets us send Albion for Mirror Jade and then make a Master Raid with our Albas and Alibur and Adlib, which brings back our Mirror Jade. And Branded Retribution can add back the Branded Red that we used, so we don't even have to search for the Branded Red in the end phase of Albion. We can search another thing, like this case we're gonna search Opening because unfortunately we did banish Banishment, you know, ironically, but our but we still have a Dramaturge deck as another disruption. And the thing about DESPIA Feather is, it's really hard to out this if our opponent's not on exactly DESPIA themselves. Because if they kill one of our fusions, obviously we can use Alibur we can use the Alibur's effect to resummon Alibur, and then if they decide to kill the Alibur, then we'll just get back our fusion. So it's like this feels like a loop against decks that don't have non-destruction removal. So anyway, our opponent's activating cards. Keep in mind, I only have one Masquerade out. They called by Branded Red that I was gonna use to make a second Masquerade. So they're literally just taking 6, like they're basically just playing against Chain Energy, and they're making a Nightmare to hit our Branded Opening that they know I set that I'm gonna chain anyways. And I mean, my man, like, I literally didn't use any of my disruptions. Like, I didn't need to use any of my disruptions. My man literally just lost the Chain Energy. Like, when you like cook too hard, basically. Now we're playing a game going second against Pure Spright, and I really wish we had like just a skip opponent's turn button instead of just a fast forward button. Like, this fast forward is not fast enough to get through this. Like, I sat through so many Life Twin combos in real, or not Life Twin, so many Spright combos in real time during this, and oh, Scythe Sighting, fun and interactive gameplay. Yeah, fortunately, you know, it's almost over, but because there's Life Twins in this, they gotta go through their Life Twin link route at the very end, you know, it's cuz. Draw a card. Okay, my turn. Drawing the Call by the Grave. We are not getting Scythe this turn. All we have to do is bait out the Carrot Negate so that we can get our Call by live. Our opponent currently cannot actually pop their own Scythe because their Leela is on the field. They have to revive it, but as soon as they use one of these two, they can just tribute their Leela. So anyway, we're gonna start out with a Patchwork, and I'm honestly surprised that baited out the Carrot, but I guess they wanted to get their Leela in grave. But as soon as they use their Carrot to tribute their Leela, it makes my Call by the Grave safe from their negation, so we can just get rid of the Leela, and now we're no longer in danger of getting Scythe this turn. So now we get the Branded Fusion. Put Lubellion in attack. I always summon Lubellion in attack into an established board like this for this very reason. We get Veilered. Normally Lubellion can't attack when in fusion summon, so because we got Veilered, you know, its effects are negated. So this is a live attack target that can run over any old Spright monster. I'm gonna normal summon Alibur, and they're gonna Spright Red. They're gonna tribute the Lila, the baby. They're not gonna even tribute a Link monster, and it's fine because we drew a Spriggan's Kit as well, and because we control Lubellion still, we can still search our Branded in red. And they're gonna, before we enter battle phase, they're gonna bring back the Spright Blue to get a Jet to their hand. So enter battle phase. Because Spright monsters are notoriously low attack monsters with low stats, we can just attack over their entire board. And then Branded Red in the battle phase, where we can make our Mirror Jade here. And fun fact, a lot of people think Branded Red stops you from attacking for the turn, but that's not the case. it just stops you from attacking directly. So we can still attack over a monster. So that means we get to clear your entire board. And end phase, Albion will set a banishment. And fun fact, did you know that the artifact that the egg does sets dies in your opponent's end phase and summons itself? Because, you know, clearly the scythe is lasting an entire turn, you know, when people set it. Anyway, they're gonna scythe block me during my end phase. Very nice. They're gonna cosmic my branded banishment. At this point, I got a chain to my tragedy, and I'm gonna fuse away my mirror gate so I can make a Dragos Apelia. This Dragos Apelia is really good against a deck that relies on having level 2 monsters on the field, so you make them level 1. And then the tragedy will get us our Alley Bird for follow-up. On normal summons, Kisa kill, this was probably a misplay. I should have just probably shotgunned the Dragos Apelia on the Kisa kill. That way they couldn't go into elf with these two, and I knew they had a jet in hand, so it would also blank their jet for the turn if they didn't have another extender. And we're gonna negate the elf at least, but they had the extender in hand anyway, so honestly it didn't matter where my Dragos Apelia negated. They were always gonna be able to do their combo. And they're gonna go into a 3200 gigantic just to be able to get over my Dragos Apelia. And bring back the Lila that they don't run any more Link Moss or Live Twin Links for anyways. So my turn, I'm gonna normal summon Alibur, get back Brandon in red. And gonna target Tragedy, and we're gonna make a Chimera that's gonna pop 2 cards. This forces them to chain their Smashers. And we're gonna pop the other 2 monsters on board. And unfortunately, I did not draw into another fusion spell, so we're gonna have to end on Alibur Pass. But the good thing is, because we're playing against Spright, right? It's very unlikely that Spright can kill us even through an 1800 monster, especially after they already expended their Smashers. So anyway, we're gonna go into... We're just gonna go into a straight up Trouble Sunny. When was the last time you saw this? In the Spright. And the problem with this play for them is we called by their only Lila Evil Twin Link. So they don't have a pop on their turn. Like, this is just a big body. It's not any sort of disruption at all. And for our turn, we drew a shrine to a Droplets. So we're gonna Droplets, send Dramaturge, make the Trouble Sunny 1650, normal summon the Albaz now, and now we can threaten to fuse the way the Trouble Sunny. So instead, they're just gonna tag it out, and just not give me the satisfaction of fusing away their monster. But unfortunately, they're at 1600, so an Albaz Direct is actually just game anyways. So yeah, that was a tight one. Alright, this game, we have the God Hand. The double Branded Fusion Grass called by. Just unbeatable. Our opponent's on Tri-Brigade Spright, which would be a lot scarier if they had Sprint and Pit Knight early. But as right now, this is just going to be ending on like a Spright board with a Revolt set. Which is alright, I suppose. This is just Spright combos. Bring back the red. Yeah, there goes the Bearbrum. Lock themselves into Tri-Brigade, so we don't have to worry about that double Dragon Bounce. And yeah, at first I was like, what the what is this? Like, you have one free zone for Revolt. Like, what's going on here? Well, anyway, we do Brand Red. That's a good draw. Activate Grass. This is... They have no spell trap negate, so, you know, we get the Grass for 28 cards, by the way. And they're gonna... Man, Spright players and their... Like, I realize they have to shotgun their negates just to keep their Revolt live. But yeah, Spright Red. Negate my Tragedy. They're going to try to bring back Carrot. I like called by the Graveit. Because, I mean, there's nothing better to call by the grave. And now we just activate Brand Fusion raw. Go into Albion. Albion, because we already triggered Tragedy this turn. There's no point sending another Tragedy, and we already have a Dramaturge in grave. So we go Albion to dump the snow. And they're gonna Forbidden Droplets, sending away their Nerval. And now they finally have the zones to activate to resolve their Revolt for 4. Or Revolt into a Link 4. And we're gonna brand Retribution back brand opening. I'm gonna activate brand in red. Target Dramaturge. Chain opening. This will get us our Adlib. And turn all 3 into a Chimera. And this is insane. Now we get the Chainlink 1 Chimera, the Chainlink 2 Adlib, bringing back the Alibird that we haven't used yet, and we get the Chainlink 4 Dramaturge. At this point, they already messed up. There was no point for them to trigger Revolt. They would have to have revolted preemptively, or like chained it to my brand in red. Because at this point, it's too. If they hold off on using the Revolt, it's gonna get popped by Chimera, and they're not gonna have a chance to use it. If they use it now, this is what happens. Okay, so it either thing going to a Shrag, but because Shrag cannot trigger on this chain, I get a summon Alibird, summon Dramaturge, and I pop their Shrag before they get a chance to even trigger its optional banish effect. And now I get the Alibird search, and they can get their whatever Tri-Brigade. It doesn't matter because now we draw into Despia. We add the Field of Despia. Gonna Desires draw 2 cards, and they're pretty much gonna die this turn. So fuse away the Chimera, and yeah, even if they weren't dead, which they were 100% were dead, all they had was 1 Tri-Brigade monster that we could simply negate. We're playing against. Wait for it. Ah, Spright. Oh baby, I love Spright. Heck yeah. I heckin' love Swap Frog. I love make elf, revive Swap Frog, dump Swap Frog, revive, banish Swap Frog, summon Ronin Totem, make IP, summon Ronin Totem, summon red. Carrot. He knew Carrot's better against my deck than red. Okay, so anyway, we drew Forbidden Droplets. So activate Patchwork. And we're gonna Droplets for 3. Yeah. Don't need the Poly because I'm just gonna add another one to my hand. Next, activate Branded Lost, and oh, you messed up, buddy. You Maxx'd me. I was gonna maybe let you live, but yeah, now that you Maxx'd me, I'm gonna kill you. So go into Masquerade, Tragedy, Lost, and Edge and all trigger. I can't ash my Tragedy. I gotta add a kit, add an Alibur, summon Alibur, get Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion for Albion, dumping Snow. Albion banish Albaz and Kit into Lubellion. Lubellion pitch Patchwork, make a Mirror Jade. With toggle on the summon window, Mirror Jade is gonna trigger to banish their Ronin Totem. They literally could not respond during any of that point because of Branded Lost is a fair and balanced card. And we're gonna summon Kit, and they're gonna call by the Snow, and you know what? I'm just gonna. I don't need the Kit. I'm just gonna summon the Snow. And yeah, you're not playing Nibiru because you think it's bad against Sprites. So therefore, you're just straight up dead. The damage on board. Okay, next game. Let's see what we're playing against. And Oh my. Like, honestly, I don't have a problem with. Honestly, I really don't really have a problem with Spright cards. Like even like the most thing I would have a problem with is maybe the fact that you can put runic cards with Spright, but these are like consecutive matches that I'm just looking at in my match history. I played like 99% Spright decks. I played like this is like my 5th Spright deck in a row. It's like it's kind of a little bit mind numbing. And they have the full board out, but we drew Forbidden Droplets, so it literally does not matter. Desires, we're gonna negate it, and we're gonna Droplets, send 4, negate their entire field once again. Draw 2 off the Desires, send Tragedy. That's the 3rd Tragedy in a rotation already. Alibur, add Brand Infusion, and there's the Maxi. That's the man. I love setting up full combo board and then having Maxi in hand. It's just my most favorite interaction in the game. Anyway, let's go Lubellion in attack mode. Pitch the Gamma. Go into Mirror Jade. Enter battle. We're gonna clear their field as much as possible. And Mirror Jade are gonna banish their Gigantic on the end phase. So I know they added what's it called? Smashers, and they're holding the Smashers for my Albions. The brand in red that I'm gonna set. That way I have no interruptions on their turn. So I see through that. So this Albion, gonna end phase, add brand in red to hand, toggle on, activate brand in red in the end phase, getting back to adlib. Because we never by Lubellion sending the adlib, so we never used adlib this turn. Now we go into a Chimera to pop 2. And this Chimera is gonna pop their Smashers and pop their red. And now we have a live Mirror Jade on their turn. So yeah, I mean unfortunately the Maxi gave them an entire new hand, but at least we established Mirror Jade on our turn, so it's gonna be really hard for them to kill us. And they're gonna start with Ronin Totem for Jet. Yep, at starter. Nothing I can really do about this. Going to Appaloosa, so I can't Mirror Jade. And we're gonna let him cook, but as you'll find out, bring back Carrot and time limit. Yeah, gotta love the time limit in this game. To be honest, I'm not sure if he could have really done anything. Maybe, I mean, he could have maybe go Centauria, put back the Mirror Jade, and then negate my Albion search, and it'd be like all kinds of things. But I really feel like it'd be really hard for him to clear both my monsters since they're so big without going into Zeus himself. And if he goes into Zeus, the Appaloosa is gone, and if the Appaloosa goes out the field, I win since I could just Tragedy back. I have a Tragedy engraven and stuff, so either way, we get into a grind game and we're the one in the driver's seat. Alright, we're going first this time. We finally won the die roll. This hand is absolutely cracked. It's so cracked that I'm just gonna start off with Desires, and they're gonna maxi me immediately. Okay, so it's a little less cracked. Now, I can't end on too much here, can't go too crazy, but we can go Alibur, Branded Lost, Branded Fusion, into Lubellion. Lubellion, pitch Poly, and then we get our Lost and our Tragedy Search. We add Mercurier, go into Mirror Jade, Allure, draw 2, banish Mercurier, Mercurier, add Albion, or add, we drew into Patchwork, so let's activate Patchwork. Albion, send Branded Sword, draw a card, Branded Sword, add back Mercurier. Activate DESPIA Feeler just for a floating effect, and yeah, our opponent Maxx us drew 2 cards, but we have 1, 2, 4, 8, 10. We control 11 cards because the branded DESPIA engine is fair and balanced. Anyway, our opponent activates X-Draft. Nothing I can do about that. This is the most cards I've seen on either side of the field at the same time. And they're gonna evenly. So I have a few options here. I could keep my... I don't have access to ad libitum since I banished it off Desires. So actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna brand red, add back the Tragedy. I'm gonna chain Mirror Jade. You know, I'm gonna banish my Alibur anyway, so I might as well banish face up instead of face down. And I'm just gonna banish everything except my Droplet. That way Droplet is still a live disruption. And now that my field is clear of monsters, my side frame Gamma is also a live disruption. And they're playing Flu, so their bird's gonna get Gamma. And you draw into map? Nope, okay. Well, game's over then. I need to add Branded Fusion. They're gonna Maxx me. You know, this is the very live grass is greener 30 card versus 30 card deck. It's gonna set a chain to go into Chimera to pop their 1 back row. Trigger Chainlink 4, get back Dramaturge. They're gonna Maxx me, so I'm just gonna kill them. Yeah, and going to Branded Fusion into Albion. Yeah, it's so. Our opponent Maxx does for 2 cards turn 1, and turn 3 they Maxx drew 4 cards since we special summoned 4 times, and at no point did we have less cards than our opponent had, despite getting Maxx twice. When you're not playing Spright, you know, the other decks just can't keep up advantage-wise. Yeah, so that's a taste of what it's like playing branded DESPIA in this meta, and I'm already recording parts of the deck profile. I have a lot of things to discuss about this, so it'll be up soon.